Hi guys, in this video we're going to have a look at how to structure a piece of non-fiction writing. So the first thing I want to talk about is paragraphs. Now paragraphs are generally a collection of sentences that all talk about the same thing, and when we want to talk about something else, what we do is we change paragraph. So you tend to have all sentences that are connected, that are building upon a certain idea in one paragraph, just to make a nice, clear, cohesive piece of writing. So an example of this can be seen in the paragraph I've written here. So I started off with an overview, and you can see this. Research suggests that more people are choosing to consume sugar-free products. So that would be my overview. If I want to kind of go into more depth where I'd be kind of exploring the reasons why, I'd change paragraphs. So Todd Fellows, an expert nutritionist, suggests the reason for this could be that so many of our foods have sugars in them that people are having to make conscious choices to manage their intake. Okay, and then, trying to build on my argument, I might put in like a different perspective, like a global perspective. So in France, things are very different. Research suggests that people in France do not choose sugar-free products as much. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to kind of bring in ideas that all kind of come in within this banner of this overview, but then the other paragraphs, they build upon this, but because they're different, I've got to have that change in paragraph. Introductory paragraphs. So an introductory paragraph provides an overview of the topic before the writer breaks down the rest of their argument in the following paragraphs. Note that the paragraph introduces the scope of your argument. It's where you state what you are writing about and the various elements of that topic that may be included. So this can be used to set the tone of what is to follow. Let's take a look at an example. A lot has been said on the issue of legislation of drugs in the UK. A number of arguments have been made, both political and social, so let's break this down. So first of all, we've got a topic sentence which informs the reader about what this paragraph is going to be about. Next, you can see that we've used formal language right at the outset to show that this is going to be a very formal, professional paragraph. And then finally, we might make some allusions to some other topics that might suggest some kind of structure that the rest of the paragraphs might follow. When thinking about the main body of your writing, it's important to think about how you're actually going to sequence this information so that the audience can see that you've actually thought about the order that you want to put your text in. And you could use a number of different strategies. You could use a linear order, where your paragraphs should build upon one another, so a logical order must be established. It's kind of used for when you're building an argument. Next we have chronological order, so the order in which things happened or to show a progression of something. And then we have general to specific. This is quite a common way of structuring most writing. And this is when you begin with an overview and then you go into deeper detail of the various aspects involved. So just to recap about topic sentences. Now topic sentences sum up the main idea that will be presented in the paragraph. They help introduce the reader into the point or the idea that you're about to address, so they understand in a vague sense what the paragraph will be about. And if you're doing functional skills reading, this is a great way of locating piece of information. So you scan the text and you look for those topic sentences to try and find which paragraph you'll find the piece of information that you're looking for in. So I've written a couple of examples of topic sentences. So in a paragraph about online education, I might write, there's been much interest lately in the topic of online learning. So I might use a synonym of online education just to kind of show that the general topic that's being addressed. Okay, in a paragraph about COVID, I might say, of all the world events that may strike terror in the hearts of people young and old, none was so unexpected as the spreading of a deadly disease. So even though I haven't mentioned COVID, I've mentioned that general area then, and then I might later go on to actually introduce COVID, but I would still do that in that first paragraph there. But it's just to show that you don't have to use the exact wording, but just as long as you kind of build that picture in the stars, that's a really good way to start your introductory paragraph. So let's take, for example, a film review. So John Wick Chapter 4 is an action thriller which is known for its high-paced action and complex fight choreography. It's a story of a former assassin's pursuit of a way out of a dark world. Okay, so right there you can see what I've done. I've done that brief overview, and then if I want to start building into more specific information, I will change my paragraph here. So the story opens up with John seeking revenge against the High Table. The iconic moments of his suit and weapon collection builds up the audience anticipation of the action to come. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. I've chosen to make it linear, talking about the order of the film. And because it's a film review, I want to kind of keep it quite vague, so I've kept it vague, but I am still going into that kind of linear detail, into the kind of things that someone might expect to find in this film. Okay, so film reviews are quite tricky in that sense, but for each different piece of writing that you have to do and purpose of writing that you have to do, you might have to adapt your structure a little bit to suit it. Finally, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and check out Right On Resources. Thanks for watching, guys.